All right, we're going to do a series of sections here, and we're going to need some section views, so regular section cuts, and then we're going to make some 3D views from those section cuts. So the first thing I'm going to do is delete the ones that we have. So I'm going to come down and I'm going to delete the 3D views, S1 through S4. And I'm going to go ahead and delete these section schematics, S1 through S4. Okay. Just to show you where they are, if I go to Plan 1, that's those section views right there. So I could delete them here or I can delete them here. So I'll just delete them here and it'll get rid of them. So what I'm going to do now is create a new section series and show you how I did it. So if I go to View and I go to Section and I pick the section type that I like, which is my red one, and I say I want to have my first section here, right? And you see that view range goes way out there. We can come in and scope box it initially, like we've been doing. So I'm picking that scope box. And now it's scope boxed and locked to the edge of that, but I don't want it to be locked to the edge of that. I want to be able to pull it in and make a section that stops there. So I'm going to remove the scope box now that I've placed it on there, right? Say none. And you see that far clip offset? That's the distance from where the section's being taken to where it ends. I want to set that to 10 feet. So I'm going to set it to 10 feet. And you're going to see there it is, right? So it's doing the scope box on the top and bottom, but since I removed the scope box, I was able to change that to 10 feet and unlock it from that edge. Now what I want to do is I want to look and see which section this is. So this must be section 2. So I'm going to rename this guy. And I'll name it, S1. All right. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this. So I'm going to pick it, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to copy it. So I'm going to pick it. There's a copy up here. I'm going to select it. Then I'm going to pick a point, drag to the right, and I'm going to type in 10 and enter. Right? And it's going to make a copy to the right. And then I'm going to copy it again to the right, 10, and enter. Right? So I'm just making copies of this section. So you can actually come in and pull this in if it gives you the heebie-jeebies like it does me. I'm just going to do 3 this time. So now I have 3 sections running through there. And you can go and, take a look at those sections if you want to. But now what I need to do is use these 3 sections to make some 3D views. And I do that by going to my 3D views, and I'm just going to right click on the 3D default view and duplicate it. And I'm going to rename it. Let's rename it S1. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my navigation wheel and left click on it, drag it out, and there's a flyout menu right here, and I'm going to select it, and there is an Orient To View, and I can pick that section S1, right? And it orients to that section based on where it's cut and its view range. And then I can come up here and I can double click on the top right, and it actually goes into the 3D view of that section. So I just go shaded. And then you can do things, like we were talking about before, which is sort of go in and hide things. Plug in my computer here. Go in and hide things and update the view to something that you find attractive. So I'm going to go, and I think I might have a view template. So let's see if I go to Apply Template Properties here. There is a schematic section 3D, and if I click OK, there it is. It's got the, maybe we don't want that one, right? So if I go to VV and we change that pattern, we had the blue on there, right? So just to be consistent, again, I really should go in and get the actual numbers so they're all the same, right? And then let's see, how about we make that guy gray, which it is, and we'll make it thicker at a 12 so it matches. And maybe we just don't want any transparency on that. And we click OK. So now that looks like that. And then I can go in and say, create view template from view. And I'll say schematic section 3D blue. Okay, so now I've got that. I'm going to remove the scaling from that. And now I can go in and I'll just say hide these. So view hide. I'm going to pick that, view hide. And then I'll resave it. So you could actually go in and save over. So I'm just going to go to create view template from view. And I'll name it schematic. Name it the same thing. And it'll say it exists. Do you want to replace it? And I say yes. And I click OK. And now I just need to do that to the other two sections. So that means I have to make 2 more duplicate. So I could actually duplicate this view. Let's just duplicate. And we'll rename that. And we'll name it S2. And we will go to our navigation wheel. And we will orient to view. S2. Okay, so there's that one. Close that, go up here. Right, set that up. Close that one. And let's go ahead and duplicate this guy again. Duplicate. And we will go to our Orient to View. And we will pick this S3. And we will double click on the top left, right? And we should be done. So let's not crop that. Looks like okay, so that's fine now. So I'm going to close that guy. Oh, let's rename it to S3. Right, and now all we need to do is place that on our sheets. So I'm going to close these guys out and go ahead and go to S3, bring that out here, right, and clink, and then S2, right, and you'll see it wants to line it up, and then S1, and it depends on how you, if we can get that guy, how you bring them in on how they overlap. So the last one in, the newest one overlaps, right? There's that. So I'm going to go ahead and do what we did before, which is pick these guys and get rid of the viewport, right? And then we don't have the view, the crop box on in these. So you can kind of move them around or move them closer or further away, right? Based on however, you know, we had them set up. Okay, which seems like, does that one go in a different place? I may have gotten them in the wrong order, but maybe not. I have to double check my work on that one. But that's basically how you do it. Okay, so, and you can move these guys around however you like them to be. Maybe space them out a little more. So you can see, ooh, that's a little, I don't know. Okay, so there's those guys. And then the last thing we're going to do will be the rendering.